The presence of online games has expanded tremendously in recent years. It seems like everybody and their mother is trying to make the next big live service game in an imaginary hunt for the golden goose of video games. Rockstar has found success with GTA Online, and Epic Games is raking in the dough with Fortnite. Although, not everything has been smooth sailing. EA and Activision have generated a negative reputation for online games due to unbalanced game economics, exploitative designs, and, of course, loot boxes.
What the hell was that?
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Amidst these controversies and successes, online games have created a somewhat bigger problem. Has anyone else noticed that AAA studios are not supporting local multiplayer as much as they used to? Are we seeing the end of couch multiplayer? Well, that's what the bigger publishers would want you to believe. And you can see it from games that have been published in recent years.
I refuse to bury any more friends.
Since the start of the current generation, we've seen a surge in online service games. Most of these games will focus on multiplayer, but only for online play. Rarely do these games ever feature a split-screen mode. Granted, there have been a few exceptions like Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 and Star Wars Battlefront 2, but even so, they were somewhat limiting. So why are the AAA publishers ignoring local multiplayer? Well, the short answer is to profit. You know how online games primarily support one player? Part of the business model here is to sell the game at an exponential rate. A user plays the game, shares it with friends, and you've ended up selling another copy or two.
What is that?
You're supposed to tell me.
If the game supported more than one player on a single disc, then the publisher has potentially lost a sale. On top of that, games with only local multiplayer aren't as easy to exploit with microtransactions. If a local multiplayer game featured microtransactions, you'd be setting yourself up for failure already, as players will quickly abandon your game in favor of a game with no microtransactions. To sum it up, the mindset is profit over player base.
We tried to make them afraid, we only made them angry.
Despite the direction most major publishers are trying to steer the industry towards, local multiplayer is not dead. In fact, it's just as lively as it was in the 80s, 90s, and even 2000s. Take Nintendo, for example, a company that's thrived on multiplayer games like Mario Kart and Super Smash Bros. Those two games in particular are significant in the multiplayer genre, as they both used to rely on solid local multiplayer. Both titles may not have had immediate success in transitioning to online, but Nintendo knows where the priority is in those games, the local aspect, and it continues to be the selling point for those games. The reason why we get intensely hyped with Smash Bros. And Mario Kart is because we immediately start planning parties and tournaments with friends. The way we talk about online games doesn't hold a candle to Smash Bros. Or Mario Kart, unless you and your friends are hardcore Warcraft players. The support for local multiplayer doesn't stop at Nintendo, though. Many other indie developers are seeing massive success and praise for their local multiplayer games. One underrated gem is Conga Master, which lacks an online mode, yet boasts an excellent story mode and multiplayer experience. Then you have games like Screen Cheat, Death Squared, and Overcooked 2, all of which support an online mode, but are more fun to play in the same room with friends. Oh, and it's worth mentioning Yacht Club Games putting in a co-op mode in their critically acclaimed platformer Shovel Knight. Let's not forget third-party fighting and racing games. Bandai Namco has been rocking it with Tekken 7 and Dragon Ball FighterZ. Electronic Arts released the remaster for Burnout Paradise in March 2018. And of course, we have the sensation that is Rocket League, which features both an online and local multiplayer mode, which is sure to entertain you and your friends for hours on end. The AAA market needs to learn that variety is what makes the world spin. Right now, there are too many companies coming out with their own online games, and they don't seem to realize a potential issue for consumers. No one has the time to play each and every online service game, especially if those games are planning years of content. If the end goal is to get players returning to the game numerous times, why not just make a good game? Why does everything need a 10-year plan consisting of multiple updates or the incorporation of microtransactions? Just make something fun that players can enjoy with their friends. So, no, couch multiplayer is not dead. We can count on Nintendo and indie studios to provide fun for our friends. Thanks for watching Mojo Plays. Be sure to subscribe, ring that bell, and check out our suggestion page in the description below.